Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Clarendon residents urged to look out for migrant criminals. There is an appeal for residents in Clarendon to be on the lookout for migrant criminals hiding in their community. It has come from head of the Clarendon Police Superintendent Carlos Russell following Wednesday's killing of one of Jamaica's most wanted fugitives during a police military operation in Longville Park in the parish. Nestor Morrison, otherwise called Bigger Crime, was wanted for several crimes in 7 Miles, Bull Bay, St. Andrew. He was hiding in Longville Park. Superintendent Russell said it is important that residents pay key attention to strangers and suspicious activity in their communities. Our community groups, our citizens associations, or neighborhood watches, we have to make them stronger, and we look out for each other. We can't allow criminals to come into our space and turn our communities upside down, he pleaded. Government to ramp up Public Education and Road Traffic Act. The government is to ramp up its public education campaign following the implementation of the new Road Traffic Act, RTA. There have been concerns and protests by public passenger vehicles PPV operators about aspects of the regulations since they were implemented on February 1. Prime Minister Andrew Holness admits that aspects of the law required explanation, adding that there has been misinformation on some issues. Transport Minister Ardley Shaw, with responsibility for the National Road Safety Council, NRSC, Floyd Green and the Council have been tasked to engage public on the RTA regulations. Mr. Holness is urging road users to become familiar with the Act.
So, for example, we would have seen information in our public domain saying that the public can no longer tow a vehicle. Yes, that has been put out in the public domain. That is not the case. The law is specific to towing on the highways. And why is it that we have to make this provision? I would think it would be quite obvious and reasonable that on the highways, the motorways, where traffic speed is high and people are not expecting the towing of vehicle, which could create great harm for people driving, that this would be reasonable and acceptable. But in the current context of misinformation, deliberate misinformation, to take advantage of the upset and uncertainty that exists when we start to enforce, for whatever reason, to create mayhem in the minds of people and to create a situation where the public is upset with their government, we must be ready with the information and the explanations. We must bring the people along with us as we seek to have the law enforced. It is the Road Safety Council that I'm tasking now to go through it and look at these various clauses and be prepared to engage the population, to win over their minds and to get them on the side of safety, to let them see that they can earn a living. In fact, their livelihood would be maximized if there were order. But we have not had that conversation as yet. So Minister Shaw, Minister Green, and the National Road Safety Council, I'm tasking them to get out on the roads and have the conversations with the people, because we must counter those who are intent on using the enforcement of the Road Traffic Act as a means of social dissonance. And I'm urging all road users, all drivers, motorists, pedestrians, motorcycle riders, you now have a duty. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. You now have a duty to find out about the law, in as much as the government has a duty to put the information out there about the law. So 2 weeks ago, I had tasked the Road Safety Council to review the law, and I'm not saying that this is a parliamentary review, meaning a review to change the law, but to take a real look at the law, come back to us with areas that need better explanation, because it is important that the general public understands why it is we are putting in some of the rules.
Manchester Street renamed Desmond Mackenzie Close.
Why? You must come to Manchester. Only Manchester want to get them
This is when you keep doing good, it just overflows, and we don't wait until we are all gone and then we all go to each other's grave and say something. We give it to each other in the living years.
And I'm honored, and I will remember this day I remember my 70th birthday in December, the party that I had. And that night is engraved in my mind. I remember when they opened the Desmond Mackenzie Center on King Street for the homeless. That touched me. But this one, in a small rural community, Somerset, I really appreciate it. And thank you, and God bless you.
Driving instructors have until January 1, 2024 to get certified. Driving instructors have been given time to meet certification requirements under the new rules governing the use of the nation's roads. As provided under the Road Traffic Act and regulations, driving instructors and driving schools are required to be certified and licensed by the Island Traffic Authority (ITA). Speaking in the House of Representatives recently, Minister of Transport and Minding Adishon informed that the effective date for the requirement is proposed to be January 1, 2024. He said the date will allow reasonable time for instructors to undergo an approval training program. Phased implementation of the new road rules commenced on February 1. The legislation aims to better regulate and promote safe use of Jamaica's roadways. Before applying to be certified as a driving instructor, the person must be at least 24 years old, must have held and used the class of driver's license for which certification is being sought for a period of not less than 24 months and successful, completing a driver's instructor training program approved by the authority. The application made to the ITA should include a police record, character references from any two of these persons, a justice of the peace, a minister of religion, an officer of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, or an attorney at law, a medical certificate from a registered medical practitioner indicating the health, including the mental health, of the applicant and the fees specified. The authority may, upon receipt of an application, request that the application furnish additional information and documents as considered relevant. An applicant for a license to operate a driving school is required to, among other things, provide evidence that an owner, a director or a partner of the driving school is a certified driving instructor, and also provide character references from any two of the following persons: Justice of the Peace, Minister of Religion, an officer of the JCF, or an attorney at law. The applicant must also prove that the building to be used for classrooms at the driving school is approved for the purpose by the local authority, is in good repair, has adequate firefighting and protective equipment, has suitable and adequate toilet facilities for staff and students, and supplies necessary for rendering first aid, and is equipped with adequate desk, chair, audio and visual equipment, and other necessary items. Also to be submitted is a written outline of the classroom and on the on-road instruction program, which shall meet or exceed the minimum program standards established by the authority. The authority may, at any time, inspect or cause an inspection to be made of the driving school by an authorized person and keep a register of driving instructors and driving schools to be known as the Register of Driving Instructors and Driving Schools. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell